You can do this once, you can do it again and again and again, but it's not going to go the way you wanted it to go. It's not going to go linear. It's going to go in this loop. Progression, regression, growth. Progression, regression, growth. And that's what happened. Progression, best time ever. Regression, worst time in 2 months. Progression, killed it today by myself. Oh yes. Welcome to another episode of Mindset Mastery. I'm your host, Araujo. Thank you for joining me today. Of course, we have one objective here, right? Which is to get our mind right so that we can recalibrate and recommit to the responsibilities, the actions that we must take this week to dominate it so that we can change behaviors, continue to compound on the good ones while eliminating and putting to the side, to the wayside, the bad ones. So go ahead and check in as you're coming on board. Nick, good morning. Cindy, good morning. Armando, good morning to you. Kimberly, good morning. Today I want to talk about the topic of regression because I think it's a very important topic, not only to the aspect of business, but everything in general, every aspect of our lives, right? Because I think that when we hit new levels of success, when we lose that weight, right? You've been wanting to lose the 15, 20 pounds. You're feeling good, right? We expect things to always remain that same, the same way. When we close the 3 to 4 transactions in a month, we see an influx of income in our bank accounts, and we expect it to always be that way. When we have a good vacation with our families, everything's fine. Like, you guys are getting along. Kids are like really good. We expect things to always be that way. And I think we fail to realize that, things are not always going to go that way because there's a part of us that thinks that growth is linear, that growth only goes one way, like this, right? A straight line to success, a straight line to getting what you want. But I think there's a different pattern and a different loop that we all go through as humans, which is not a straight linear line, right? It is more like a loop. It kind of twirls forward. It loops forward. So we're going to talk about that today. And I'm going to tell you what happened with me recently, physically, right? With my endeavors that I've embarked on. I'm doing a marathon, a triathlon here. Sorry about that. Triathlon, not a marathon. Actually, one of our agents here, Jesse Abarca, just completed a 26.2 mile run to complete his triathlon under 4 minutes and 38 minutes, I think, which is phenomenal. Right? 26 miles in the 4-hour mark. That is unreal. So congratulations to him. But he's also going to participate in this triathlon that 4 of the guys here at AZ & Associates are going to be embarking on. And, I have been really focused on improving my times when it comes to like running, cycling, and of course, swimming. I'm going out and meeting a coach on Wednesday to make sure that I got my techniques down right, that I get my breathing down right. But I remember there was an event that we had about 3 weeks ago here at AZ & Associates where we invited all the agents to come out and run with us, right? It was going to be a 5-mile run, and we had a good showing. We had nearly 20 people, I believe, that showed up, and it was awesome. It was fun. As a matter of fact, I felt the adrenaline. I felt good that day. I had been improving on my runs every week like clockwork. Like, I really thought my improvements will continue that way, where everything was just going linear. Every week I was growing. Every week my capacity was getting greater. Every week my times were going down as far as like how fast I was running. Like, I was feeling good. So that day I felt good going in, and I had a target of 7:30, a 7 minute and 30-second mile for 5 miles. Which is pretty damn good. And I was able to achieve it. We did it. Jesse Abarca was also there. We both did it at the same time. It was awesome. We were able to hit that mark. And I felt great. And I'm thinking, man, I'm only going to just wait until I get, like next week, I'm going to get a 7:15. And then the following week, I'm going to get a 7. Right? We think that way because the momentum is going that way. And when we have momentum, we think that only positive things can happen. that we don't have to learn any more lessons, that we don't have to overcome any more obstacles. Like, we just keep growing. And I think that's the fallacy that we have. And sometimes it because we don't realize that is the pattern, that there's always going to be a regression in any growth spurt. We think that we're going all the way backwards, like we're starting from scratch. So I hit that 7-minute and 30-second mile for 5 miles, and I'm feeling great. That following Wednesday, I'm like, I'm going to go after it today. I'm going to do it. Again, I have the history of being able to improve week in and week out. Right? And some of us are experiencing that right now in our businesses. Some of you are getting like prequels 2 to 3 every week. So we expect things to always go this route because we've paid the price. You've paid the price, right? At least that's what we think. No more obstacles. I got it all figured out. So that Wednesday, I go out and my legs ache. And I thought that I can go ahead and just continue to push forward. And my body will adapt to it. I can run with this pain. My muscles were just aching. I felt like my bones were hurting. So I go off on my run and my feet are not moving. And I'm struggling through the entire 4-mile run. And in fact, it was the worst run I've had in over 2 months since I started. I started with I ended up finishing that up like an 8:36 mile, right? 8-minute and 36-minute mile. And I'm like shocked. I start thinking to myself, was that just a fluke? Was it a fluke that the 7:30-minute mile will never happen again? I mean, I thought I was progressing, but now I lost all that confidence because the very next time I try to do it, I didn't get the same result. It's funny how our mind starts working at that point. We forget about all that we've achieved, and all of a sudden, we're less confident than when we first started. And so much so that it becomes painful to even go out there and try again. That's exactly what happened to me. Like, I avoided running here for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks after my worst run in 2 months. Which was just 1 week or 3 days before, or after, I'm sorry. It was 3 days after my best run I've ever had. So I have my best run, and then I have my worst run. And all I can remember is my worst run. So I avoid it. I avoid it like the plague. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm not going back out there. Because I got disappointed with the results. And oftentimes that happens with you as agents. You get all those closings in a month or in 2 months. You have your best quarter ever. And all of a sudden, you have nothing for months. In fact, everything that you used to do becomes harder. You used to go on Facebook Lives. Now it becomes so difficult to what do I say? What do I do? Who's going to hear this? We lose so much confidence after hitting milestones that at the moment we don't repeat it immediately, all the confidence goes down the drain and we start thinking, now I'm starting from the bottom. We question everything about ourselves. And I know you've been in that situation as well. I know I have. Can't even market. Who's going to watch it? I'm not even going to send an email. Nobody reads them. The very same patterns that got you the results to begin with, we avoid. And for me, I was avoiding the running. I mean, the only way I could have got to a 7:30 mile average for 5 miles is because I got my ass out there. Because I was doing the work. But because I had one bad showing, just because you had a few deals fall through, all of a sudden everything becomes more difficult. And here's the thing about regression. Here's the thing about failure that we forget sometimes. That hardships present you time to give you insight. When you stop becoming this victim of the circumstances, I don't know where my next deal is coming from, and you start just looking at your patterns, it gives you insights. Oh, yeah, that's right. I stopped doing my open houses. I was doing that, every day when I got my 4 deals in escrow. And then I got too busy trying to close the deals that I forgot to do that. I used to, send out private messages every single day. Damn, I forgot to do that. You get insights. But oftentimes it's much easier to say, I don't know if I'll ever get back there again. So when there's hardships, you get insights, you get awareness. And here's the great thing about it. It builds resilience. At the moment you stopped becoming the victim of the circumstance. And you gain wisdom. I am wiser. When I hit that 8:30-minute mile, my worst since I started, made me wiser. Once I stopped thinking, I'll never get there again. I'll never achieve what I achieved last week. When I stop thinking that way and just say, okay, what really needs to happen here? Well, one, my body needs to recover a little bit. I'm not as young as I used to be. I just need to give my body some time to recover and put my thoughts back to when I hit my target. That's where my thoughts need to be, not how I got the worst time in 2 months. What about all those closings you got at the beginning of the year? Why are you so focused on that one buyer that decided to go a different route, or decided to rent as opposed to buying, or decided to go with a different agent? Once we refocus and just go to the successes of our life, because we have plenty, we can start coming up with solutions on how to get there again and again and again. Because what happens? Hardships. Remember, hardships give you insights and awareness and wisdom. It's not supposed to break you down like it did me for a few days, a few weeks actually, 2 weeks. Until last night, I'm like, I need to get my ass back out there. I need to go run. So I got up this morning, and I was a little hesitant. And some of you may be hesitant of doing those Facebook posts again, sending those emails again, holding those open houses, because there is going to be resistance. You're going to be hesitant, but that's okay. I get up, put it on my shorts, I'm hesitant. I go outside, forget my AirPods, so I have to go back inside and look for my AirPods. I go outside, ready to go, I forget my water, so I have to go back inside to get my water. I felt like I wasn't prepared. I put on my earphones at that point, my AirPods, and they're not connecting to my Apple Watch. Apple Watch. Well, I grabbed my daughter's AirPods, so I have to go back into the house and get it again. So I'm like, maybe this is not the day for me to go out and run. Maybe this is not the day for you to go do your open house because you forgot the signs. Well, you didn't do plenty of marketing. Right? That's where your mind goes. So I get through that. Got my right AirPods on. I have my little water pack, a little fanny pack. It's a nice fanny pack, but it's a fanny pack. And I get on the road, and I set my Apple Watch, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to track this. So I start running. And I'm running, and I'm like, my shins don't hurt. So I speed it up a little bit. My bones don't hurt. I start running. Like, my entire running process is like on point. Like everything feels good. And I'm moving really fast. And I just keep going. And today I got my second best time ever. A 7:33 for 4 miles. 7:33 for 4 miles by myself. The last time I had to lean on Jesse a little bit, right? It was too much for me. Like if I was alone at that time, I would have probably never hit the 7:30 mark. Because I had a pacer with me. Jesse was like leading the pack for most of the time. This time I went solo. I had to rely on my own capacity, my wisdom, my insights, and my awareness from the first time. Because it built strength. And it reminded my body, if you can do this once, you can do it again and again and again, but it's not going to go the way you wanted it to go. It's not going to go linear. It's going to go in this loop. Progression, regression, growth. Progression, regression, growth. And that's what happened. Progression, the best time ever. Regression, worst time in 2 months. Progression, killed it today by myself. And this is truth for your business as well. And I want to remind you of that. If you did it once, you can do it again and again and again. But just don't expect it to happen in a row. Your job is just to continue to show up and get the insight, the awareness, and the wisdom you need. Because one fallacy that we live under is that we have to start from scratch, which is completely bullshit. Why? Because we're discrediting all the experiences, all the reps that we've done prior to that point. We're not starting from scratch. We have a great foundation. I have a great foundation. Months of running under my belt. I have one bad showing. I had to get my head out of my ass. That's what I needed to do. And go back at it. And some of you are in that place right now. You're so far in there. You're deep in there. Not realizing you've been in this place before. And you know exactly what to do. But it's up to you if you want to carry this on for a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year before you wake up and you say, oh, that's right. I know how to do this. I know how to market. I know how to close people. I know how to make money. Progression, regression, growth. That's the game. But that'll never come into fruition if you don't get up and try again and again and again. And here's the thing. Yeah, you messed up. Maybe you did. Maybe you had that momentum and you killed it. Okay, lesson learned. You're wiser now. Now quit being in that place. I can't tell you how many conversations I have on a weekly basis regarding that. AZ, like 6 months ago, I had like all these deals in escrow. I don't have anything now. Okay, well, what are some of the things you stopped doing? What do you mean? Well, think about all the actions you took when you got those 5 deals in escrow. Oh, that's right. You stopped doing all those things. So now do it again. It's that easy, really, for all of us, because you're not starting from scratch. You're more experienced, you have the wisdom, and you have greater insights. That's the game of this, and I love it. I love it because even though I've done this thousands of times, I forget. We all forget, and that's why it's good to be part of this, so we can be reminded of the things we already know. So we don't spend one more day in that place of, I don't know what to do. I don't know why my business is not growing. I don't know why I can't keep this weight off. You know exactly why. Because you're not doing the same patterns you were doing when you lost the 20 pounds, when you lost the 50 pounds, when you lost the 100 pounds. Just go back to that. We got to stop discrediting ourselves of, I don't know. And again, reminding ourselves that progression and growth is not just linear. It's a loop. It's a loop that continues to move forward if you want it to. So yes, guys, like maybe you had better months than you had this month. Maybe you had better quarters than you've had so far. Okay, just go back to the patterns that got you there to begin with. It doesn't mean that your business is not growing. It means you're just in a phase right now. Because you do have more insights. You are wiser. And you're more aware. But you're not starting from scratch. And I love it. I love it. Because at the moment we face these obstacles, at the moment we feel we're regressing, we're like, we're not growing anymore. My business is not growing anymore. I need somebody to go save me. I'm going to go join this other brokerage. They're promising me leads. I can't tell you. I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed yesterday. I can't tell you this. an agent that was here before doubled and tripled his business and kept on going. He had a little regression state. And when you're in the regression area, you lose that confidence, and I've told you that. So he decides to move. That doesn't fix anything. You lose more confidence. I found out right now he joined, he lost so much confidence. He joined a team that's paying him like 50% on his deals. And I can't tell you, I'm paying for this gentleman. I'm paying for him. Because he couldn't get past the regression state. He couldn't continue to remind himself that he is he's gone through this before. He's resilient. He has conviction. He's shown great results. And now he lost himself so much. It pained me to see that. And that's what happens. But if you understand the game, progression, regression, just get through that stage. Just get through it and remind yourself, if you did it once, you could do it again. And then get your ass out there and do it again. And if it doesn't work, you do it again and you do it again until you get what you want, and then you keep going so you don't go through this stage as much. And here's the thing. As you start growing, that's the same pattern we go through, right? But what happens? The times become fewer because your confidence is greater. That progression, regression, the regression part, it becomes fewer and farther apart between, right? It's less frequent. And it's less intense as it was before. But if you remain in that regression state, thinking that you have to start from scratch, you lose your confidence. And you end up in a situation that you don't want to be in. I hate to see that. I hate to see a powerful person become weak. I hate it. Because I know there's so much more riding on individuals that think the solution, it's outside of them. The solution is always within. You have the solutions. Get out of your own head. Quit becoming your own worst enemy. You're giving the power to your enemy, which is your thoughts. The bad thoughts. But that's not going to be you. Okay? So if you're in a regression level right now, if you're in the regression state, just understand and go back to the patterns you have proven that work and start doing that again. Now, here's the thing. It's not going to happen overnight. But you keep reminding yourself and you get after it. I love it. I love it. I hope you guys are fired up. Let's go ahead and take the comments. Who's with us today? We got Liz, Dora Lee, Rio, what's going on? Jermaine, good morning. Claudia, congratulations to you, Claudia. Claudia Guerrero just got married over the weekend. Congratulations to your best friend, which is awesome. Jocko just joining us. Good morning. Rio, I know that feeling all too well, man. That happened to me while swimming. I reached a great accomplishment. Then the next swim, I did horrible. No rhythm at all. It took me a solid 2 weeks to get back to the previous level. And that's funny how that works. I mean, I think we all hit that. We hit these plateaus, right? These self-imposed plateaus, or we forget that we can continue to progress, but there's a stage that we're forgetting. And that's not called failure. We didn't fail. You were out there, and we kept showing up, right? And now you're seeing your best times even above that. Because if you think about that, Rio, like your time in the water without stopping has increased. So what happened? Your capacity increased. So you've improved in other ways that we don't give ourselves credit for because we were only looking at it one way. We were looking at it time, but when you start thinking about it, you start doing more laps with less rest time in between. And some of you are not seeing that money in the bank account, but you're forgetting that your marketing skills are on point, that you're consistent as you know, I was going to cuss here, but no need to. Consistent as hell. We forget those things. We're better on social media. We're better with Facebook. Our email game has gone up. We're more consistent. I mean, all those are improvements, but because the money's not in a bank account, we feel like failures. But that happens all the time. We got Gabe. We got Nick. Gabe, damn, this is so true. And well, we all go through it, but it is all a mindset. No making excuses. Just do what you know how to do. No BS. So just remember that today, guys, as you're going, and maybe you don't have the deals that you've wanted, and maybe you do. Well, hopefully this will give you the momentum to keep doing the right things, and you continue to do the right things, because you will get the results you want from those right things. So if you've fallen off the wagon per se, right, and you're not in better shape than you were in January 1st when we all said we were going to get in better shape, if your business is not greater than we were in January 1st when we all declared it was going to be our year, like, this is the stage you're in. The problem is you may have stayed in there too damn long. It's up to you to get out of it. The regression state is not meant to make you comfortable and for you to kind of wallow in that. No wallowing in the regression state. You're going to come out filthy. Learn to shine bright. Like, progress and grow. Growth makes you shine. So if you're not in better shape since January 1st, just things need to get better. You need to go back to the things you proclaimed you were going to do. So if you don't have more money, you packed on a few pounds, marriage is not getting any better, right? You're like the nucleus of all that. So just get on it. Make everything better. We got Jermaine. That's why I'm here, because the conversation resonates. However, if you are not doing the work, the conversation is simply foreign. Absolutely. And you're declining looking for a quick microwave solution. The work builds the calluses to pick up and move anything, including your emotions. Great word, AZ. This needs to be replayed on repeat. Thank you for that, Jermaine. Carolyn, I have been going through this with my fitness and marketing. Yes. But Carolyn, you know more than most of us here. You know exactly what to do. And that's the thing. So Jermaine, thank you for that. Carolyn, thank you for that. Guys, like, that's all I want to leave you with today. Let's get out of that regression stage. Start moving forward. And quit thinking things are happening to you like we put ourselves there, consciously or unconsciously. But that's part of the growth period, because you will become out wiser, right? More aware and more insightful. So let's go after that. Let's go back to the patterns we know will work and get us what we want. Thank you again for joining me for another Mindset Mastery. Have a great day, everyone, and I will talk to you soon.